Before you turn on the camera, just know what you want to say to people. What are you going to talk about? What are you going to tell them? What message do you want to convey? This is going to be really important, and you're going to get better at it if you do the 7 videos per day, like I said. But this is what you want to know, because this is going to help you with your hooks. Instead of focusing on what should I say, what do I need to say in my hook, you need to just focus on what the message is of your video so that you can make up a hook that makes sense. And I mentioned to you before, hooks are more than just the words that you say. Hooks are also like the things in the movements in the beginning of the video. So like putting on lip gloss at the beginning of your video is a hook. Taking off your glasses is a hook. Shaking your coffee cup with the ice in it is a hook. Closing a book, putting on whatever, doing something with your body on frame is a part of your hook as well. So, and this is why it's so important to think about what it is that you're going to be saying and how you present yourself on camera, and not in a staged way. That's not what I mean. When I say how you present yourself, how do I present myself on camera? Y'all always catch me typically at the very beginning of my day or at the end of my day after I've already gotten dressed or after I've gotten undressed and taken my bath and everything and everybody's settled. And I'm typically here. So my presentation is very laid back, chill, hey friend, let's chat, right? But if you're going to be a more aesthetically pleasing girly, your presentation might be you make all of your videos after you've done your makeup or while you're doing your makeup. If you're doing content where you're showing people how to do meals or like how to stage their environments, you're just going to keep those things in mind. That's what I mean by that. So you want to consider what it is that you're going to talk about and very quickly say to yourself, what's the overall message, and say that in the beginning. So for instance, this comes very naturally to me at this point, but it is because I've done so many videos, and I promise you it gets to that point. Like when people ask me how I'm so natural in front of the camera, I still think I'm kind of weird in front of the camera sometimes, but I'm more natural than I was when I started because I'm doing it more and I'm understanding it. And I know how to take a thought that I have and turn it into a content piece, but while it still sounds very natural and it's still like something that I would say. So for instance, I might not say, if I were talking to my friend about her husband, I might not say, is it really that your husband's a sex crazed pig, or does he just want intimacy with you? But for a video, I will. If I were talking to her, I might say, well, friend, like men are like that. They're a little bit more physical than we are. They like and crave intimacy as much as we do, but the intimacy is so different for them. That's really how they connect with us. We connect with them by cuddling. The man wants some, friend. And so I can say that, and I don't have to worry about trying to make sure that she stays to listen because that's my friend and I know she's going to listen. Whereas for a video, I need to remember, like, oh, this is a For You page, girl. They will scroll. If you want these people to hear you, you need to say your point at the beginning. And so that's where I would take that very same conversation and I would say, like I said in the beginning, is your husband a sex crazed pig, or does he just want intimacy with you? So I would turn it into a question. Whereas in regular conversation, I wouldn't really ask that, but that would be the underlying theme of the question. So, same thing, like if I were talking to my friend, I might say, girl, today these kids really drove me crazy. And I don't know, friend, I need a break, right? Versus online, I might say, I know it ain't just me. These kids are crazy. They're crazy. And y'all are not going to convince me otherwise. Because tell me why today, you see what I'm saying? Same message, same story. But because I know that I'm talking to people who might scroll and miss the message that I'm trying to get out, I'm trying to get to the point faster. And I'm trying to also give them a little bit of entertainment. And again, this is something that is not, you might be born with it. You might be really good at it. Now that I'm pointing it out to you and you know that that's what you need to do, you might be able to just whip it up and do it. But you also might just have to practice it. And so this is why I say, like, post these videos all the time. And so where does this idea of thinking about the result, what is it, the end result? You can't be a terrible storyteller online. You can't be super slow moving unless you have developed an audience already and you know that these people are going to stick around. You got 1 million followers, you can kind of do whatever you want. I don't recommend that you deviate and start doing crazy stuff, but whatever. But for those of us who are growing audiences, we have to keep in mind that these are people that we want to engage with us. And so, what is the end result? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to entertain them with this post? Are you trying to enlighten them? Do you want to give them information? Do you want to teach them something? Like, are you trying to educate them? Are you trying to inspire them to take action on something? Okay, what I just said, those are the end results. So like most of the time when I'm talking about kids, I'm actually trying to offer perspective for parents, and I'm trying to inspire them to be more Christ-like in their relationship with their children's in their relationship with their children. What do I mean by that? So if I know most of the time when I'm like, there's no real reason. I'm not sharing anything from my life just because I'm just not that person. I would like to be as private as possible. If you notice, it's not much that people know about. Nobody even knows. I don't think I've ever said my children or my husband's name on the internet. So like people know about me, but they don't know like the intricate details of my life. And I don't, it's not intentional. Like I'm not being secretive, but I just feel like I don't have to give that information to get the point out, right? And people don't care. Nobody cares about what my children's name are and what my husband's name. They don't care. They just care that I'm giving them the valuable information that I'm giving them. Okay, and so if I were telling a story about my children in hopes to inspire you to be more Christ-like, I would give an example of something and then I would tie that to the story. And when I say I would give an example of something, it would be something out of scripture. So I might relate to you first in a way. Let me give the example and then I'll explain what I did. So I might say, don't you hate it when your kids don't listen, or like when you have to repeat yourself, or you have to over and over and over say the same thing to them? It makes you frustrated. It makes you want to pop them, but you don't. And you know what's crazy? God's grace is the same way. The same way that we are recalcitrant, the same way that we don't listen, the same way that God has to redirect us, sit back in the corner and look at us like, didn't I tell you not to do that? Our kids are just doing the same thing. And so I just want to offer some perspective to you today. Don't yank them by their throats, because God would not do that to you. Calm down, take a deep breath. Your children are your children, just like you are a child of God. He gives you grace, He gives you mercy, He forgives you. Give those children some grace, some mercy, and forgiveness. Okay. And so it was really hard for me to explain that in reverse. So I just gave the example first. But all I did was I took something that we can all relate to, wanting to strangle your kid for acting up. And acting up can be anything. Because I'm going to tell you the truth, my kids don't act up so much as they are just annoying sometimes. Like they're not, when I say I have to repeat myself about stuff, it's not like, hey, stop misbehaving. It's like, girl, if you don't come get these socks off the floor, like what? Go get your clothes out the dryer. Like, why is it still there? Right? Like, it's stuff like that. And so, but I know that that doesn't matter, because what I just said, every parent can relate to. Whether they have a child that is literally bouncing off the walls, or they just have a child that is just like very delayed in their listening, like they have selective hearing. Every parent is going to be able to relate to that. And then I took the relatable thing and I made it very practical in a way that almost makes you like, it makes you embarrassed, because it's like, that's so true. Like, I don't always listen to God. I'm not always obedient to what He tells me to do. And my children are the same way. Oh my gosh. So I just gave you perspective as a parent, but I also just called you out on your foolishness in your walk with Christ. And so that is something that if I had said in the story, let's say I didn't start the story like, you know what? Because I will tell you, questions and things like that do very good. Or if you say like, I know it's not just me, like relatable things do really good at the beginning of a video. But anyway, let's say I had started the story by saying, sometimes I just get really disappointed in myself because I don't listen to God's word. And when I don't listen to God's word, like that story sounds like it's going nowhere. Girl, hurry up. Hurry, spit it out. Okay? Girl, I'm about to scroll. And so, and I hate to say it like that, but that's how people are. Like, like y'all know that's how people are. Like you probably like that. You probably be like, I ain't got time for this today. And you scroll right past the video. So think about that when you're thinking about the type of content that you're going to put out. Again, don't overanalyze it, but think about what is it that I'm trying to give as the result. So that specific instance, What I was trying to give was inspiration to be more Christ-like, but I made the example very, very personable, right? Let's say I was trying to snap you back into reality and call you out on being lazy. Instead of saying something like, I know we all go through things and we all struggle, and sometimes we just don't know what to do. And you never know where to start or how you should do. Girl, I done scrolled already. What are you talking about? Get to the point, okay? And so instead of saying something like that, I would be like, friend, you slacking. What are you doing on this app? Yesterday you said you was gonna do this. I'm gonna call you out. We're gonna jump straight to the meat and potatoes. Because what am I trying to do in that video? I'm trying to inspire you to get up and take action on your life. I'm trying to compel you to do the thing that you've been putting off. I'm trying to get you to believe in yourself. That's the point. That's what I'm trying to deliver. And I don't have to, and I get it. And sometimes we just, you know how, sometimes I ain't gotta do all that. I'm just cut straight to the chase. Get off this app today, right? And so that's how a lot of my videos are. People, it's so funny because I do this so much that people be like, dang, sis, no good morning. Like you just going straight in there. Like, did you just slap me? So those kind of things and that type of feedback lets me know it's okay. Just go straight into it. You don't have to say, because what is saying, hey guys, girl, don't nobody care. Get to the point. Like, get to the point. I'm sorry. It's not, it's just the way that it is. The internet has made us have like very, very short windows. You gotta get us quick. And so you have to take that along with you on your content creator journey. Think about what it is that you are trying to sell to the person, and think about how you need to actually get it to them. And the way to get it to them, just give them the result. Just tell them, just give it to them. You don't have to like drag it out unless it's some really intriguing series or story. Those do great. I'm actually going to talk about starting a series and how that can be really beneficial for you on your TikTok growth, but not in today's video. So today, just focus on, as you're creating your content, remembering that there's an end result that you're trying to get to these people, and you need to start your videos with the end in mind. Because girl, and this works so well. I don't know if you've ever seen, this is clickbait if I've ever seen it, but I don't know if you've ever seen those videos where people pretend like they're going to talk about something and they talk about something completely different. I saw this girl, she was like, y'all saw these two celebrities and when they did this, and she put two random people on the screen, and after the first 3 seconds, she was like, yeah. So anyway, this is where I got my lipstick from, and proceeded to not even didn't even talk about the people, y'all. Didn't even talk about the people. So that goes to tell you how powerful this is. And that video has so many views. That goes to tell you how powerful it is to start with the end in mind, and to make sure that you do captivate people in that first like 3 seconds of your video. Try to use editing tools. Like if you're recording straight inside of TikTok, TikTok allows you to edit out that space in the beginning. Because even me, like, y'all see every YouTube video, I start the camera, and sometimes I don't edit that out because my goal is not to go crazy on this YouTube yet, so much as it is to just document the process as I go along. I'm a living example of do what you can until you can do more. Like right now, I can't try to grow this YouTube channel while also growing my primary YouTube channel, while also building my business and growing my TikTok. Girl, no, I'm not doing all of that, and you shouldn't either. And so you focus on what you can do while you can do it. But anyway, um that goes to show you, like, you just need to captivate people in the beginning. And so TikTok, that's what I was saying, TikTok allows you to cut that space out. So don't record a video and then have like 5 seconds of space before you're like, okay, no, cut that out. Like if you press start and then you have to sit back and then you start talking, that 3 to 4 seconds when you just, girl, cut that out the video. The people gonna scroll. You're gonna be like, that sound. And the truth is, yeah, they're going to scroll. They're going to scroll right past your video because you play too much. So make sure that you're keeping that in mind. Like, this is, at the end of the day, you make your content, you be yourself, but position your content to have the best chance of performing. That's all I'm saying. I'm not telling you to be something that you're not. I'm not telling you to do things that don't apply to you. I'm just telling you that if you're going to take time to record the video, give your video a fighting chance. And you give your video a fighting chance by, like I said, editing out that craziness in the beginning, Not so much at the end. You can do stuff at the end, but the beginning really matters. Like if you forget to edit something out at the end, or you forget to edit yourself turning the camera off at the end, that's not as serious as you doing this. Okay, so today you need to edit that out. The people are going to scroll. They're going to be like, what's wrong with this person? I don't know. I don't care. I don't want to find out. Okay. So you want to edit that stuff out. You also want to take full advantage. I mentioned this in a previous video. You want to take full advantage of on screen text and like giving people a general sense of what the idea is of the video. And sometimes you just want to be creative with that, right? Like I said, I'm going to leave some examples in the description box for this video. Particularly, I'm going to leave the examples of the ads that I did for those clothes. One, because on the screen it says read between the lines. If you first scroll and you see that without even hearing what I'm going to say, you don't know what that is. It sparks a little bit of curiosity. So sometimes if you are doing something that sparks curiosity, or if you're doing something that's really controversial or seems controversial, and I do that a lot. I actually started doing it unintentionally, and then I realized why those types of videos always did well. Anytime you have polarizing debates about something, you should include that on text screen. So when I'm talking about something like men versus women, mothers versus fathers, um, if I'm talking about like Christians and non-believers, I put that stuff on screen because I know that it's going to invite both parties for a discussion. But don't be I always say don't be like deceitful, and don't be a deviant when you do stuff like that. Like don't try to stir up controversy, just use controversy to your advantage. And I hope that that makes sense the way that I'm saying this. So like I'm not telling you to go and start a race war on your page. I'm not telling you to go and start a gender war on your page. That's not what I'm telling you to do. What I'm saying is, if you were already going to make a video with content about men and women in relationships, then you should have some play on men and women in the description on the screen. So, like I talked about the video where I was talking about women shape the dynamic of the relationship, and I said a hill that I would die on is that women shape the dynamic of the relationship. On screen, I put women control the dynamic of the relationship, or women control the relationship, something like that, where if you're a dense person and you just read that, you're going to start commenting crazy stuff. That's fine, right? So keep that in mind. If you're going to talk about politics, which I don't recommend because honestly it's just exhausting, but if that's your thing, go for it, girl. If you're going to talk about politics, then you mention both sides of the discussion in a way that's going to invite people to have that conversation, right? um if you're going to talk about, like, if you're on Skinny Talk, say something controversial. You're already on Skinny Talk, like, um fat people are delusional. And it's like, only say what you truly believe, though, because I will say this: if you don't truly believe that fat people are delusional, don't say that unless you're using air quotes. And I do that a lot too. That's a really good way to get people to understand what the video is about, using quotes. So sometimes I will put something that is controversial that I don't agree with, and me not agreeing with it, I just put it in quotations. Like I put one time, provider men are stressed in relationships. Do I really believe that? No, I think that, and I explained in the video what I actually thought about that, but I put it in quotations because I knew, one, provider men who are actually stressed or feel stressed in their relationships are going to chime in. Women are going to chime in defending themselves. And people who genuinely care about what I have to say are also going to stop and be like, oh, I wonder what she has to say. The main idea of what I'm bringing to you on this 30-day series, you want people to low key look forward to your content. You want people to be like, I never miss one of your videos. You want people to be like, oh my gosh, every time you come on my feed, you be whipping my behind. Like, girl, why you in my business? Like every time, you don't miss. You want people to feel that way about your content. And I feel like you can only do that when you're authentically processing your thoughts. And if you're running out of thoughts, I told y'all you need to read more. You need to change the type of content that you're taking in so that you can be um more informed about topics, and also so that you can articulate yourself a little bit better. Because the thing that I've learned is just having genuine curiosity has made me a better content creator by default. Like just being curious. Like I will literally, if I'm curious about something, I will read about it. If I wake up tomorrow and I want to know about the history of cement, I'm going to look it up. And I'm probably going to come and tell you an interesting story about it. And I always have like random statistics. I don't know, like statistics always stand out when I read stuff. So my point is, and those statistics will come in handy when I say something in a video. I'm like, I read like in the middle of a video, it drops on me. I read somewhere that this, and this happened. And that's crazy because as I was thinking about this, but part of that and part of the ease with which I don't run out of topics and all of these things, I'm a curious person and I'm interested in learning more. As that's why I'm always reading books. Like I don't know everything, and I'm okay not knowing everything, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I don't know everything. And I'm also not ashamed to read things that I don't agree with and to unpack them and to give commentary and to validate things that I think are valid and to be like, not so much with this. So I think that if you take these videos, like I said, and you actually apply what I'm telling you, you will do great. You will do well. If you are on today and you running out of content ideas, go pick up a book. I don't like to recommend books to people because I think what I recommend to you would be based on like what you ask me or what you tell me about you, right? Like even the books that I read are relative to me and there's a reason that I read them. But if you are lost or you feel like you are running out of content, change what you're consuming. YouTube videos, change what you're consuming on TikTok, change what you're consuming on TV, change what you're reading. If you're not reading, start reading. You should just read something every day. When I tell you it's mind blowing the topics and the ideas that come from reading, and sometimes it's not even the thing that you're reading. You're going to come up with an entirely different topic just by reading something. So I encourage you to get involved with your reading life so that you can have more content ideas. Okay. I'll expand on that in another video. But for now, I will see you tomorrow.